Troll versus Bat, it can be a bit awkward. He actually, I wonder if he goes Scepter this game. I really thought that Bat Rider is a very good matchup versus Troll, so I wonder if he's going to have to itemize differently.
I think they just want to crush these lanes and not let up, you know? Focus down some of the easier targets like the CM, get a lot of free kills off of that, find her out of position. So a lot of this game is going to be on Pandamu's positioning. What else can they look to go here? I mean, Bloodseeker's still in the pool. Be a terrible Bloodseeker game against the Troll Warlord, just kiting him out against the Pangolier. Decent in lane if you wanted to put it against the Enigma. I feel like it's not a terrible Razor game. You can still link up the Pango and you've got the movement speed to be able to just chase him down and kill him.
Yeah, it feels like they have some nice heroes to be able to combine with the Razor in particular. What was the first one you suggested as well?
Bloodseeker.
I like that too. I didn't hate it. Yeah. I think they've got great heroes in the matchups against them as well. I think it's just a question of like Thunder, if you want to, like, where are you going to play this? It seems like you're pretty happy with Conquer being the safe lane, Bat Rider versus the Pango, but if you want to kind of switch it up, they have the capability to play these heroes in multiple roles. That's the beautiful thing about Thunder's team.
Okay, so I think what they're wanting to do here is they just want to make sure that the Tide Hunter... They want with a Tide Hunter, actually. I was thinking maybe they would put that into the Enigma's lane. It's something that we've seen Virtus Pro do. When DM was playing it, they always did a pretty damn good job of it whenever they got the option to. But it is kind of like we were expecting, just the Conquer laning up into it as well. Probably an even better response just because you're not able to micro effectively enough to be able to deal with it. And it's still a decent amount of kill threat as well. Maiden to be able to, set up for the Frostbite and a bunch of slows too.
What is the big reason why they've gone the Tide? I think that, like, I do think Spirit had a pretty big advantage in regards to team fighting. So maybe the Tide Hunter can help a little bit of the weaknesses that Thunder had prior. He should have a fine lane versus the Troll. Like, whirling axes is the evasion is not an issue. Is going to be able to deal with that thanks to the Anchor Smash. So I think Tide's going to be fine. I guess Jakira doesn't deal with him too heavily because you have the Kraken Shell to purge it off. Like, that is a nice thing, having a hero that isn't too worried about the Jakira as a support, who again can be a bit of an issue in the lane. So this is not like the greatest combo with Gush.
Do you, I mean, now with Maposhka, do you actually just look to go away from the dual breath almost entirely? Just because I think if you're close enough to land the dual breath onto the Bat Rider, you're probably dead. Same sort of thing with a Conquer. You're not going to be face to face with a Crystal Maiden. Only Marcy basically is the one that's being vulnerable a little bit to that. So maybe he looks to put 1 point into it just to make sure that, you know, it's being respected enough, and then more points into the Ice Path or the Liquid Fire instead, just to assist with perhaps a little bit of the push. You've already got an Enigma for it, but every little bit's going to help.
I definitely think you can max out Ice Path. I think the times when we see Jakira maxing out Ice Path is when you have teammates that can jump in and set up for your stun, and you have that in a game like this. You definitely have that. So yeah, I wonder if it could be like a 2 points dual breath, maybe even 1 point, go like 1-1-1, then max out. Ichiko loves this hero, plays an incredible Jakira. I think we have a bit of a switch up in this game. Game one, we both kind of agreed that Thunder probably have a better draft going to the later stages. I think this game, Spirit, they've got the better draft going to the later stages, but I'm a little bit concerned that Thunder have a nice 5-man that can set themselves up in some strong lanes and then have really good early game.
Can Team Spirit get their BKBs? That's the question for me. If they can, I think they win this game. If not, then it's going to be a little bit rough. That's why the heroes like the Tide Hunter and the Sand King, for example, even the Mars to a lesser extent, have fallen out of the meta. These big teamfight ultimates that are completely counted out by the simple press of a button just feel like you severely reduce the effectiveness of the hero, and so get those in time, be able to use them effectively enough in response Waken when they're trying to end this game early, because you got to remember, this is a position 1 Conquer. Doesn't do a great job of invading onto that high ground, and by the time he's gotten to that stage, you're probably going to have Mirror with a Blink Dagger. So he's going to be like a Blink toss back into the base and maybe even melts him. So I think Spirit might be able to claw this one back to a 1-1.
So you're in agreement still, at least, that even though you think Spirit are going to win, you're in agreement that you feel like this lineup is going to have some difficulties at the early game?
Maybe. It depends how the lanes are set up as well, as they're actually looking to go onto the Maposhka.
Yeah, great jump in with the Gush to be able to help out. A lot of damage early on, and Dark Margot will find first blood in game 2.
Did you see what Maposhka has leveled up as well?
I'm not sure, but
Old
those links
liquid
are
fire.
impossible.
Nothing in the dual breath. I saw you, Observer. I thought I saw you pan towards that dual breath just out of habit, but no, not this time around. Not into the Tide Hunter. Shout out to our Observer, by the way. Very good job today.
Lovely observers, the hard workers behind the scenes.
We do have the Kunkka into this matchup instantly. Look at that. The Eidolons just melt from a single use of the rebound and then the Tidebringer. So it's going to be very important that Collapse... I thought Team Spirit might look to go for a little bit of a lane switch up here. I know it doesn't feel great into the Tide Hunter either, but I feel like this is just such a Kunkka-favored lane, especially if it's your position 1, that Kaz could get that key net worth that he needs super early on into the game to be able to close it out before your supports get their timings like the Blink Dagger, and before the BKBs are a factor as well for Team Spirit.
So do we feel like a lot of the early game has to come out of Toronto Tokyo then? Because you're mentioning that Conker is going to have a very good time versus the Enigma down bottom. But does Toronto Tokyo need to kind of make some plays once he gets that level 6?
I guess, but again, like, what is he going to do? You might get a kill, but they don't really have the heroes super early on that are going to be able to lead into towers unless you move the Enigma lane. Like, that is going to need to be the necessity coming.
We'll see how that's able to shape up. 2 last hits at the moment. The collapse on the Enigma, but their other side lane up to a pretty good start. Yatoro 7 last hits, the Tide only 4. This is definitely going to be the power lane here for Team Spirit. They should be able to get a decent amount out of this. I'm very intrigued on how the support battle is going to occur, though, between Maposhka and Pandamu.
Sure. Just a lot of trading from range, and CM has a little bit of that right-click advantage in terms of the range. You're also just able to spam out your spells that little bit more frequently with the Arcane Aura. Not too bad for him. Also a nice, easy way to be able to secure those range. Make the pull happen, though, for Maposhka. Get this Sentry Ward, Maposhka, not allow the D Ward to happen. It's like that might be the case. Ooh.
Raiden playing with the hard camp now, so we'll see if they can try and reset the equilibrium where the lane is in position. I think if we're going to have any action, it's really going to be down bottom. As soon as I say that, Collapse and Mira looking to get aggressive, playing with the Eidolons out to the left side, making sure they can do as much damage before Bakaz can get the kill. Meanwhile, top as well, Pandabu might go down to Maposhka. Got some stick charges, so the Jakiro doesn't have enough damage for the finishing blow.
Yeah, they got to make sure that their communication is on point on Thunder Awaken. The only reason that both of them are down this low on the bottom side of the map is because when Matthew went for that rebound previously, Pakaz had just used his Tidebringer, so he didn't actually have the ability to clean up all 6 of those Eidolons, and they take about 3/4 of their HP in exchange. Again, just one mistake set Team Spirit up for having a much better lane than I'm sure they would have been expecting. Go, the jump this time, and Tidebringer?
Micro.
A bit too far out of range, it seems. Brings him low, but not low enough. Single one.
Disposed back onto the tower, but Mira's still well and truly healthy to continue fighting. They'll lose a lot of the damage they needed out of the Eidolon, so just some posturing back and forth. A lot of damage being traded between these two teams.
Because you're losing the range creep every single wave, or every second wave rather, it's not going to seem quite so bad once we look over at the net worth, but in terms of last hits, it's very clearly going to be favored towards Pakaz here. You can just see every single time he cleaves that entire wave.
Top lane, Sacred might be able to break down Maposhka with the second round of the Gush. So has some stick charges to play with those. So the Jakiro is going to be okay. Again, all the lanes, just a lot of back and forth, a lot of spamming. We're looking for these rotations to come out eventually for the position 2s. Dark Margot and Toronto Tokyo both having a good time at the moment, so they can start to influence maybe either top or bottom. This is where we might get some more kills in this game too.
Margot, a couple of times now, he's had a really good laning stage and used that to lead into even more. Pandamu just able to get away on about 10 HP. He's going to walk all the way back to base, but you know, the boots that he's got coming through and needing to replenish his mana and HP. So might even look to go for a TP into this mid lane if he's able to get back there and TP in before Toronto Tokyo hits level 6, but might just be a little bit too late.
Here we go. We got the sixes to work with. Powering up in the next 25 seconds. See if Mira and Matthew down bottom, both supports are going to consider about rotating. Instead, they're going to get aggressive onto Bakaz. Pandamu's even going to look to try and TP down as well. So for the extra assistance coming up from the Crystal Maiden, they're going to try and veer their attention over towards Collapse on the Enigma. And they should be able to secure the kill. Beautifully done from Thunder. Now they can decide if they want to go for the Mira next as well. But Team Spirit, they themselves have brought enough rotation to turn the team fight back around as Toronto Tokyo will be able to target down the Conquer, getting rid of the position one on Thunder. And now he's going to be able to do a hard U-turn to catch up to Pandamu as well.
Oh, but look, we got Dark Margot potentially coming in. Double damage available, but Tokyo, he's got that full mana, so he might be able to get away. Waiting out to use any sort of TPs as well. He does have that lasso available.
On the post goal. It's a rough life for the position fight. They might be able to get both supports, actually. Oh, great jump from Matthew, recognizing that he did not need to help out at all with the Batrider chasing down the Jakiro. So him, in combination with Bakar TPing back in, was also able to deal with Mira.
It's that +1 impact, right? Not retreating quite quickly enough on Team Spirit, just going for that little bit extra. Costing them a couple of supports, just wanting to get his way back to the mid lane as quickly as possible on Toronto Tokyo.
Does leave us in a 1v1 up top. You got Yutora getting his farm, where you've got Sacred getting the farm. It looks like this might just be the story for the next couple of minutes, because again, both teams are starting to put a lot more emphasis down bottom. Another rotation coming out.
Indeed. Again, Matthew is such a key part of Thunder's team fight, being able to find the pick-off and being able to find that one on the backlines as well. Now, he just wants to make sure he's in the general vicinity as they go for these kill attempts. Level 3 on the Eidolons, so fair amount of damage is because he's going to get baited in to try and go onto them.
Oh, they lost the Eidolons, so that's pretty much all the damage from Spirit. And our Sacred, he's going to look to TP in and have some impact down bottom. The Ravage clipping onto 2. They've been able to target down the Enigma. Toronto Tokyo is going to drive into the middle as well. They want to try and get rid of the Conquer, but the damage, it's not enough. And now with Dark Margot's influence as well, with the lasso dragging back Toronto Tokyo, a double kill for the rotation thanks to Sacred. And now they can also start to move over to deal with Maposhka. He's going to try and find a little hidey hole in the tree line, but there will be no place he can duck himself deep in far enough as Thunder find 3.
Even able to use that dual breath as well in that team fight. Kazi's forced to come up top. He realizes that, look, we might just need to give this bottom lane up, but I mean, with the Tidehunter playing here now, they're really not scared of that at all. Put himself in front of the tower, and because his main priority is getting up onto level 6 so that they can't even attempt to go for those plays. And I mean, once he's level 7, he's going to have the armlet. Those Eidolons can't go anywhere near where he's farming.
Man, this observer ward down bottom, it's giving them so much information. Again, scouting up the rotations. You see Yatoro TPing down, you see Maposhka TP down. This is not an easy kill onto Sacred at all, and well, in fact, Mira won't even be able to find the opening for the toss. Gonna look to jump in instead though. Mira caught out to the left side, and Spirit won't be able to help him out.
All about just withstanding, being able to stand your ground. They're gonna have the Wraith Pack finished up in about 1100 gold's time, so it's not the worst for Collapse, but would have been expecting to come out of this lane a lot better when you're looking to first phase it, and pretty damn solid Kunka pick for them so far. Again, I wonder if they do need to be a little bit further ahead on Thunder. It's only 2k, and they haven't taken any towers just yet. And they really lack the heroes that are able to do so. So I wonder if around the 10-minute mark, they're really going to emphasize trying to play around that siege creep just to give them that extra little oomph that they need.
I think my concern is that I don't see a way for them to address this BKB on Dark Margo. He's already got boots of travel, top of the net worth, and I think he's just going to tear them apart with this next item. As we're already seeing here, it just fly over to the backline. Toronto Tokyo, an awkward usage out of the ultimate as Dark Margo gets a free kill. Toronto Tokyo should have the finishing blow, but the one shot just keep Matthew alive, and now they're in, dragging him back as the river turns to red as Thunder get another double kill.
Sacred still farming on the bottom side. Pekaz was ready to rotate if needed, but realizes the importance of getting that armlet available for himself. Got this siege creep to be able to play around with, like I was talking about, and even a couple of illusions as well. Going to look to try and address this somehow. Miposhka just playing in the mid lane. I'm sure he would love to have his level 6 right now, just to shove that macro pyre out onto the lane, not commit too many heroes, but still stop the push that TA is going to go for. Tokyo is able to do it.
So I think one thing that we have for Spirit is that Viatoria is still finding a decent amount of farm. 2 components with the Battle Fury completed. Closing in.
Did they just attempt to do the glyph to be able to save them?
That bottom lane collapse. Oh, they get the Ravage out from Sacred before the response. It looks like he was charging up the black hole, maybe to buy some time for the TPs, but Thunder just get on top of him too fast.
That glyph being used as well by Thunder. I was thinking that maybe it was a small avenue for Spirit to be able to punish. In fact, it's going to be the other way around. Cars coming up onto the top side along with Panda Moon. They have enough damage to be able to take out Mira.
Ooh! Mira! Any boys? Any rotations? Team! No! Team, help me! Oh, 2 ultimates. And he just hangs through, but the team still trying to play down bottom. I mean, Collapses almost got Wraith Pack coming up. So this is definitely the person you want to be playing with. They need to get a Talon and start to open up the map.
Throw as well. He's going for Battle Fury and Axe? Okay.
Yep, yeah.
I mean, I understand wanting to go for the Ags against the Bat Rider, but a lot of players kind of say, okay, I'm going Battle Fury or Maelstrom or Ags, or maybe even the Midas, you know, as one of the potential options. But quite some time until I've seen someone do both on the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, I wonder if he just feels like Battle Fury is going to get him towards that next item.
I suppose.
Hold that, Dark Margo. This important smoke. They need to capitalize on it.
It's too fast.
If they can't convert, if Dark Margo gets out, oh no. Even Matthew might escape as well.
Lasso's ready.
You gotta be cautious how long you stick around. If they got the bonus movement speed, but Poshka, what a beautiful Macropie. Thunder's still gotta run straight through it. As Matthew gets the drag back, they're going to try and TP out, but Miposhka won't be successful as Pandamu stops him short thanks to the Frostbite, and they can catch up to the Jakiro as well. A 2-for-1 exchange, and again favoring Thunder.
That vision, man, it's just way too good. They had the Observer Ward placed up to the north side of the outpost. It's expired now, but it did its job. They're even able to get the D-Ward as well onto Team Spirit. So every little movement that they're making to try and open up the map to enable this Troll Warlord to farm the extra camps with his Battle Fury, it's just not working. Thunder are reading everything.
And I think really shortly we're going to see soon that the cores will continue to fall behind in farm. Because you have the advantage with Thunder, because is not really left top, so he's got a hard camp, a small camp, and potentially one more wave to farm, whereas Dire, you've got 3 cores only in your jungle that are trying to equal out the farm between each other. And that's why this lead is continuing to grow. The kills help. I mean, they've got a 12 kill advantage, but the fact that you can just split up the map so easy as well.
Nothing kills.
Nothing kills.
We do have a Diffusal Blade now for Team Spirit, so Toronto Tokyo, he can certainly look to do a little bit more damage, especially against these heroes like the Marcy, the Tidehunter, the Kunkka. Not the highest mana pools to be able to play with, so he's able to land a couple of those effective ones, both at the start of the team fight as well as after the Rolling Thunder. Go a long way towards giving Team Spirit the extra firepower that they need, because feels like with the item builds that they're going for, particularly on Pekaz going straight into that heart, it's just about trying to outlast Team Spirit, right? Like they're going to run out of Battle Trance, they're going to run out of the Rolling Thunder, and they just not have the ability to be able to fight.
And the move. Venture up into a scary high ground. Team Spirit finally able to find a kill. Some attempts throughout the past couple of minutes or so, but haven't been able to... They weren't rewarded with any kills, but you know, this time they will be some golden experience. I think a big thing now we need to be looking at is how can Thunder crack this tier 1 tower mid? Because if you can get that tower, then all of a sudden invading further into the jungle gets a lot easier for them. So what do they need to be able to bring down this tier 1 tower mid?
Honestly, maybe not even much else. Maybe they're just wanting to do it right around now. They've got the siege creep available, although Mira's doing a pretty good job shoving out. I was thinking that because they've been doing such a good job of de-warding, and basically all of their wards on the Spirit side of the map are still available, that they just have a good understanding of exactly where they're looking to play right now, and they might be looking to make that attempt, especially knowing that the Troll Warlord's gone Battle Fury. He's going to be a little bit more passive for the next.
This could definitely be the time. Got this BKB ready to work with onto Dark Margo. It's been a great game for him so far. 4-0-5. Car's very close to the heart as well. Wraith Pact almost online, so see what they want to try and do here on Thunder. Net worth lead hasn't grown too much over the past couple of minutes. They won't have the greatest rune to be able to play with as well. Ace would have been lovely for the Bat Rider.
Yeah, but they're going to have the heart, like you mentioned. They're going to have the Wraith Pact as well. Or Tide Hunter, so up that little bit of a possibility. I'm still a little hesitant about their potential to be able to crack some of these towers. Tier 1s, fine. They should be able to claim those relatively easily, and it's important for Team Spirit to take it, but I just don't think they have the tools to be able to do it just yet. Off the back of an amazing toss back by Mira, who, to be fair, is close to getting into that Blink Dagger. Okay. So I wonder if they're going to look to emphasize and prioritize a little bit more of his farm.
With that tower go. This man is not going to be not an easy one to bring down with the watermelons being chucked out of him.
Oh no. Pretty big kill actually if they're able to land it.
Oh! Have they got a lasso? No. Alright, they'll be able to stop it. World Mirror. Space creators, they like to say. Unfortunate that it's gonna kind of cut him a little bit short of this Blink Dagger. Across the map, Bakaza's also run into Miposhka as well, attempting to try and de-ward, and what will come at a cost of his own life here from the Jakiro. So 2 support kills, but again, the cores are getting farmed. Toronto, Tokyo working towards the BKB. You got Yutoro as well. It's gonna have enough gold for 2 components of the BKB.
You've got the Tier 1 tower. The ancient camp has been blocked up, so I'm pretty happy right now on Thunder, but they got to keep that tempo going. Again, I really feel like with Team Spirit, if they can get into this BKB onto Yatoro, might look to turn the team fight around in their favor. They still going to need the initial pickoff, right, to be able to make it a 5v4 instead of a 5v5. If you can get into the middle of that team fight, pop the battle trance, then it'll go a long way towards securing them a way back into this game.
Now, do you feel like Thunder, because I don't think they have the greatest Roche lineup, but I think they really want to force engagements as Yutoro's in trouble here, Miposhka. The Ice Path is at least going to force Dark Margo to go down to the south. He will be able to catch up the lasso. Yutoro has the battle trance to play with, he can get it off, but the rest of the team are a little bit too late. The Ravages are ready, but they haven't found an opening just yet from Seikyu, but the Rolling Thunder cutting the team fight into half, and they've been able to keep Yutoro alive long enough for the reinforcements to show up to turn it around. It's collapsed, drops the black hole, and now Yutoro can start to stack up the fervor as Team Spirit lose 0 members. What an incredible fight from them.
Yeah, just had to go a little bit too deep to make that happen, right? It's the power of playing around that vision. Did we have that on the high ground at the start of that fight that they were playing next to on the cliff near Toronto, Tokyo? Might see. That doesn't seem like it, so actually they did. They had the complete understanding of where they could look to play around, and completely understandable that they went for that defense, because if you're isolated on the Bat Rider, you might be able to get away because of the use of the BKB, but you're just going to leave your team completely unprotected. Yeah.
Just some incredible spell casting from Spirit there wasn't in that fight.
And as well, the Enigma with the black hole, one of the few things that can actually reliably lock down a Tide Hunter, right? No way to be able to crack and shell that one off.
Big advantages they have here with Spirit with that ultimate, but some of them are now on cooldown. The Thunder are going to look to make another attempt onto Yatori. We saw what happened prior. They're going to boost to travel into the middle. Yatori's taking a lot of damage, but Mirror with the blink reveal tries to bring down Dark Margo. They don't have the damage at the moment, so he's going to continue to fly on forward, chasing down Yatori underneath the T2 tower, but the finishing blow will come out thanks to Matthew. They've been able to find threes. The third one goes down in the tree line as Thunder finally able to take a successful skirmish.
The trade out, right? I think they're generally okay with giving up a core for a core. In this case, a core and 2 supports. But you got to make sure that you're not scaling in the meantime. And with these heroes in the deck, no black hole available, they just feel comfortable to take multiple towers as well. So a nice little bonus coming through there from Thunder, opening up this map, and even the fact that this ancient camp has been unblocked, they're just going to go ahead and look to claim it up. So it's not like you're even allowing Team Spirit to come back into this game.
More economy going the way of Radiant.
Pinging it up. I wonder if Pandamu's just saying, I want to stick around, I want to body block the ancient camp, but instead he just drops the sentry ward instead. It'll do the same job, even though it's going to get dewarded. He might die for the cause, though.
And he will. A little bit of gold going Toronto Tokyo's way. Pretty much now giving him enough for the BKB. But the call is going to be here for Team Spirit. Again, this is a lineup that wanting to continue to slow the game down and get towards the later stages, but Thunder, they do not want to allow them to get there. They want to continue with the tempo. What's your next objective here for Thunder? What can they look to claim in the next couple of minutes?
I mean, you would imagine they're going to be looking to play around the top side, right? They know where a lot of the vision is going to be, so they can get some easy D-wards off. And by taking that tier 2 tower, opens up the Roche pit a little bit for themselves if they were wanting to go for it. You've got some minus armor, and you would probably need to commit the Unleash to be able to take it out. But I still feel like whenever you're going up against these heroes with the abilities that you need to kite out, you don't want to have that second life.
Been able to run into Miposhka in the jungle, so another free kill for Thunder, but it is just space. Yatori shoves out mid. We've got Collapse that's shoving out top as well. And I agree. I'd like to see Thunder go for this Roche. They might not have the greatest lineup. It might be a little bit easier now with the levels they picked up, but I think you're far enough ahead and have enough team fight that you really just want to force an engagement. It's not easy giving up Roche at all. So if Spirit come, yes, they have a decent lineup that if they execute a team fight in a close proximity, they could come out on top. But I think Thunder really want a team fight, and Roche will make kind of Spirit forced to take it.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of have to commit the with the way the situation is, you know, 21 kills to 9, 6k net worth lead to Thunder Awakened. You need to commit the Battle Trance. You need to commit the Rolling Thunder. You need to commit the Black Hole, and those are pretty long cooldown.
It's a little bit split from the team. Yatori's just gonna drop everything early on to try and secure the kill, but the lasso, is it enough to keep Sacred alive so we can get the Ravage up in the team fight? Spirit, do they still want to stick around knowing the Ravage was already used? They've been able to blow up 2 members off to the right side. Yatori's going to be able to TP out, but back by the outpost. They've got the Rolling Thunder trying to catch up to the Batrider. They've been able to secure a triple kill, and now Collapse. He held 2 members back thanks to the Black Hole that bought enough time for Spirit to be able to deal with the other components. Now Mirror can follow up and jump to the low ground, tossing them onto Bakaz. The Conker's not an easy member to be able to bring down, especially with the buyback coming out from the Crystal Maiden as well, because playing with the Heart regen, it's going to be a long chase from Spirit, but maybe with the assistance from Yatori, that's where the damage can come into play. They're cutting into perfection just off to the right side, and now they can go back in. They'll deal with the Crystal Maiden, forcing out a dieback, and now they'll finally get the finishing blow, cutting off the head of Bakaz.
I mean, Toronto Tokyo effectively got a rampage that fight. He killed 5 people in that entire engagement. Pandamu twice, Sacred, Dark Margo, and Bakaz. What a performance coming through from him this time around. And I mean, his Rolling Thunders have been on point, even just getting a little bit lucky with the lucky shot as well, preventing a lot of the follow-up from coming, and a big portion of the burst coming through from Matthew as well once he pops that Unleash.
And I think this is all Spirit's game now to lose. Net worth lead completely cut down after Roche is claimed, and a little bit of Cans. They'll be the ones with the net worth lead, and They've really gotten out of the scary stage here for Spirit, haven't they?
They have indeed. I mean, Conker's still going to be scary for the supports, right? But it's not as big of an issue anymore for the rest of the team. Collapse has been much more careful with his Eidolons in the last little bit. You've still got the net worth lead on Pakaz, but that's just off the fact that he had such a good laning stage that he's able to basically one-shot every single camp that he goes. That they were actually looking to go into the Blink Dagger on Sacred just for that extra layer of initiation, but they don't really need it. You know, they've got the rebound, they've got the Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider. Instead, just wanting to not get 100 to 0'd by that Troll Warlord, force them to commit some stuns on top of it as well. The Ghost Scepter is going to provide Sacred a pretty good amount of value. Now, how close are we? Oh, only 400 or so gold away from Yatoro having the Aghanim Scepter for himself as well.
Bottom lane might be in some trouble. Oh, Yushik's passing in the night.
How the hell did he drift like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Toronto Tokyo drift?
Oh, they do things differently at the pro level. They're gonna go for Sacred. I think they need the Black Hole to get this kill.
They're really looking to emphasize this, these high HP heroes, right? The Marcy's going to have a decent amount soon enough. You've got a Tide Hunter, naturally, and a Kunkka with the Heart means that Aghanim Scepter being purchased up by Collapse is going to be a nice little tool. Also, it helps to pull him in a little bit, which also kind of disrupts what Bat Rider's trying to do in the team fight if he's not caught inside the Black Hole itself.
Going to be a big item if he can get to that stage. They're going to look for some other components. Bring that Blink Dagger to try and help out with the initiation. Looks like Spirit, though, with the Aegis, be able to knock onto some towers now for themselves, getting some map control. T2 tower going down will pretty much give them firm control of the bottom jungle. So what Thunder can try and do. Do you feel like we're at a stage where they can still fight into this Aegis advantage, or are they just looking to kite for the next 2 minutes?
Well, I would imagine you want to kite, right? A big part of their team fight is, again, about that pick-off, about finding the X-back, but they're clumping up too much on Team Spirit to allow that to happen.
Not hang on, you want to run up Sacred? Okay. They're like, all right, yeah. Yeah, let's not go on the Tide, maybe. He's also a pretty difficult person to bring down. Well, they need the Troll. Maybe with the Yatoro nearby, they might give it a crack. With the toss back, the take control needs to be perfect to make sure there's not an opportunity for the Ravage. And look at Team Spirit's positioning. They're not going to group up at all and enable Sacred with the big ultimate. The Spirit bring down the Tide Hunter, and now with that kill, they might consider poking the T2 tower mid.
Indeed, Yatoro still with about a minute and a half left on that Aegis. He just was comfortable enough to move on forward, even looking to protect. I wouldn't want to give this one up for free, but again, that's the power of the Lotus Orb. That's the power of the Aghanim Scepter, just constantly using those whirling axes without a care in the world to make sure to constantly get that Dispel off onto himself.
He can dispel so much this game. So much. Frostbite, CM slow, all the Bat Rider's abilities, Sticky and Flame Break, really the important ones.
Torrent slow, Gush, rebound slow.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, it's such a good Aghanim Scepter game.
Not rebounds. Dispo slow. They need to change her again. She's busted.
Yeah, no, I was literally gonna say the same words. Yeah, you change her around, she's still busted. She's still a very, very fun hero.
I mean, I'm wondering if, like, Thunder Awakened, even part of their success is going to come off the back of this Marcy, right? Like, if she's got the BKB, if she can get into the Basher, maybe you find that single target pickoff that, you know, you don't actually need anyone else's help to be able to obtain.
Okay, so who does it have to be?
Probably Enigma, I would say. You know, if you're able to isolate him somehow, then that'd go a long way towards your success.
He collapses a great ward, but Mira's going to get the jump in first. Simultaneously with the lasso, the blow-up collapse without the big ultimate for the team fight. Maybe this will be the path to success on Thunder.
With a double
Can
damage.
they deal with Yatoro, though? He's got a DD in the arsenal. They're going to try and kite it for the moment. A Rolling Thunder will cover the retreat. They'll deal with Matthew, who was trying to get another pickup onto the back line. Thunder, is this their opening though? They've still got the Ravage to move forward. An Ice Path again from Aposhka along with the Macropire, making it difficult for Thunder to continue to charge into the middle. They're trying to catch up to Mira. Looks like they should be able to finally bring down another member of Team Spirit.
Flying V formation coming out there with the Ice Path and the Macropire, meaning that they just don't want to walk into that mid lane staircase area at all. They're still kind of setting up, but I really want to see a replay of that where the Troll Warlord was just hitting it onto the Kunkka. Yes, he's got the Heaven's Halberd, but his health was barely moving at all, and this was with a double damage, with Yatoro essentially even with net worth on him. It was crazy.
Yeah, I imagine this is why he's going the MKB now. Yatoro. You've got some of the mist coming out thanks to the Halberd. Some extra damage as well if he can get the procs as well.
Necessity against the Tide Hunter, that little bit of magic damage. Sure, he's got the hood, but in terms of the magic,
been able to withstand this Aegis advantage that Spirit we're playing with. Again, we both felt like Spirit's lineup is going to be favored towards the later stages. Thunder need to try and find a teamfight success and look to get some map control off the back of it. This could be the team fight for them to start. The Sacred adopt for the moment. Mira's going to be able to find an opening. Toss back out of a postcard. Jakiro gets sent packing. The greatest start for Spirit. They're going to be able to retreat. Drops a ward as well. So they've got full control of this area. They know exactly if Thunder will continue on.
Oh, I like this a lot by Toronto Tokyo. You know I'm a big fan of this talent on the Pangolier, and he's done it. You just want to be constantly spamming that shield crashing ball. They have no way to be able to stop him from doing it outside of the lasso, and I really don't feel like you're in a situation where you're needing to commit the lasso onto the Pango. So you're probably going to have a team fight where you're just wiping out every single person's mana pool on Thunder Awaken and giving them an opportunity to be able to just kill the entire team because they've got no tools to stop you. I still think that they need Yatoro to be able to finish up this MKB for himself first, just because he is your main damage source right now. So you got to enable that as much as possible.
Because like you mentioned in that previous fight with the DD, like we just saw that he didn't really have enough at the moment.
Look at this. This might be a kill. He has the Blink Dagger coming out to him right now on collapse.
Can he get lucky with the roots? BKB is expended between the two. He's going to be able to find the lasso and Dark Margot. Moving back towards the tower, so the potential of the rotations will scare his Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that if it was a few months ago when the battle trance was a little bit different and the route doesn't go through the BKB, you're not forced to pop that lasso. But I think expending the battle trance, pretty similar cooldown to the lasso. It's a neutral situation for both teams.
So it feels like now we're just waiting for that next Roche to spawn. Gonna be up in 40 seconds.
Basically right when those ultis come back up.
Perfect timing then for a big team fight. Could be the pivotal moment of this game too. A really important game as well from either side. They had a kind of a good start to day one. With the first series of the day for both of them. 1-1 for Spirit and for Thunder. They got 2-0 from Entity, so it'd be nice to get some confidence back and some map wins under their belt. This next team fight will definitely help out with that.
For this smoke immediately after they finished up the basher on Matthew. Wants to be able to try and isolate someone, find them out, take them out of the team fight. Even someone like Maposhka, to be honest, like he's providing a good amount of control. Get again the 4-man stun. We saw it last game. Don't want to be on the low grounds. Ooh, Mira.
Smoke's gonna pop. They're all grouped up. Mira gets a jump with the follow-up. Toronto Tokyo. He's in, crashing them left, right, and center. But Yatoro, he's hesitant to be able to fall up as well. They've got control with the Ravage coming out, clipping onto 3, but collapse in with the black hole. What an ultimate as they don't have a response. The damage is racking up too fast. It's Thunder. Some buybacks coming out for them, but can they be able to revive the team fight? Because Picaz has been able to veer his attention over towards the Enigma, but they do not have an answer. Yatoro just freely right-clicking throughout the team fight, and Toronto Tokyo as well, looking for the Rampage, looking for the final kill to give him the 5-man. He might be able to find it onto Picaz, the finishing blow, and they'll give it to him. Rampage for the Pangolier, and now they can go for Sacred as well. Then Tidehunter just fought back prior, and he'll be sent to the grave for another time. Nothing will stop them. No tier 3 tower will hold them back as Toronto Tokyo gets a double Rampage.
Oh, this is why I love this Aghanim Scepter, man. You're just able to have so much impact in the team fight, not just in damage done, not just in kills secured, but what you deny away from the enemy team. You know, the Basher going off multiple times in the team fight means that the BKBs feel kind of worthless. Same sort of thing with the Mana Bird. They were playing on such little mana for the biggest portion of that team fight just because of what Toronto Tokyo was able to do.
Look at that picturesque start as well. An Avalanche to the double ice path, then the Rolling Thunder, then collapse. You couldn't have asked for a better black hole.
Perfect ice pass as well by Baposhka, landing onto 2 there. I think the one following, he landed onto 3. Like, he is just... this is team spirit at their peak, right? Complete cohesion coming through. Yep, there we go. The double one there. Completely layering off and basically determining where Thunder Awakened can look to take these team fights. Macropire, sure, for the damage it's useful, but it also blocks off a huge portion of an enclosed area like this mission camp. You just layer it down, you feel confident in knowing where the enemy team's going to be coming from.
It really seems like it needs to be a miracle fight here for Thunder to try and stem what Spirit have going for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. It just seems like the damage isn't there now for Thunder.
So previously, I think the Black Hole, the Enigma Ags dropped another Midnight Pulse, so I was thinking it would get the benefit out of the level 20, but just the wording on this one, I'm not sure if it does anymore. You know, it says it deals additional damage equivalent to essentially like a smaller Midnight Pulse. We'll see what talent Collapse opts to go for. Again, he's not the biggest Enigma player, so maybe he doesn't know either. I don't look like a like usual.
Okay, you're not an idiot, sir.
Alright, take it. I would have taken you for an idiot, but not a complete idiot. That's where my self-esteem is at, right?
So we've one-upped it. Alright, we've done a little bit better. Toronto Tokyo, look at the Rolling Thunder into Dark Margot. Trying to push out the lanes. And a BKB is a win for themselves. Goddamn bashes though. Toronto Tokyo, he's not letting him leave. Oh, another rest of the team, they've connected. Mira's got to cut off the reinforcement. They'll get Matthew, they will not get Dark Margot, so we're very close to doing so.
I mean, top lane's going to be pushing in. You don't really need to worry about these mid lanes in the top lane. You just need to protect top, and then you're going to be able to go up onto the high ground. A disarm eventually coming through from the Tidehunter. Yeah, that's a double halberd that's picked up by both the Kunkka and the Tide, but he's got the MVP, so who cares?
Instant follow-up as well. They're going to be off the mark. Prelude to the neutral item, put Sacred back onto the high ground. Spirit. Are they going to respect Thunder's turnaround potential? Again, they need to make sure they're not grouped up. They won't get anything out of the Rolling Thunder, but Mira is who wants to get the initiation. Toss back, Yatoro's health
now he's got the damage.
Skyrocketing because he's just losing all his hit points.
Maybe not.
Will come through,
maybe yes.
Another black hole from Collapse. 2 times in a row. His ultimate to being on point. And Spirit can now look to go for the finishing blow. 3 down, through without a buyback, and they might have this one in the books.
They're going to wait for them to go on to tier 4s, I think, and you just finish up the refresher on Batrider. Can he look to drag someone back into the base? It can't be Yatoro. He's still got the Aegis for another 2 minutes. Might even look to, in the inventories, just see, has he picked up anything? So they're going to go for the single pullback.
They need to give him the bonus movement speed. Oh, no, they didn't.
They didn't rebound him?
No, didn't rebound him. There's the first lasso. They've got the first life. Dark Marco's going to jump behind him.
Oh, Mira's been pretty important too.
Addy has indeed with the initiation, so Dark Marco's going to look to try and take the Tiny out of the equation. Meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo inside the base. It's in chaos, but still with the Batrider outside, surrounded by 3. And this will be it. There's no response from Thunder. Nothing they can do without the members of Team Spirit. And they went with the storm early on, and then they've been able to come back with the lineup they have. Some incredible team fight execution from them is going to be able to secure a Game 2 victory.
And this is the downside of picking this position 1 Kunko.